All right, what's going on, everybody? I am returning from a nice long absence. I don't think I've posted on this channel in 5 or 6 months because honestly, I just ran out of ideas. You know, there's only so much stuff I can talk about and try to help people with before life just gets in the way. But I do have some updates and wanted to talk about some stuff that's been happening. So I mean, I guess anyone that watches this channel probably knows a lot about me already because there's like 13 or 14 subs. But yeah, so I just started a new job. I apologize for the crunching. I'm walking out in some snow on the ground, but just started a new job as a tour manager for a band, which it's really fun to talk about because it's so crazy still and unexpected, and it kind of came out of nowhere, which is why I was excited to do it. And that was also why I wanted to make a video about it, because I wanted to make a video about growth. And I was on Facebook earlier and I was scrolling through some stuff, and there's this kid I used to talk to. I talked to him when I was doing like Pacers NBA media stuff. I talked to this kid for like 2 hours after a Pacers shoot around, and I was trying to like help him, you know, because he's a few years younger than me. I've been writing about basketball, or I haven't wrote about basketball in a while, but I started writing about basketball when I was 14, and I did that for whatever, 6, 7, 8 years. And I, like, you know, I knew a lot. Like, I'm not gonna act like I was super good at it or anything like that, but when you just naturally do something for a long period of time, you get good at it. And I was trying to help this kid because I was noticing some issues with some of the stuff he was doing. And, you know, he was 18 or whatever. Like, these are mistakes you're gonna make. So I was trying to help him out. And he just, like, we talked for all this time, he never got back to me. And and the reason I'm bringing this up is because I just saw he posted something on Facebook the other day, and it's just the same stuff. It's like he's been doing the same stuff for years. And that's why I wanted to talk about growth, because we just like get in these comfort zones because it's comfortable, right? It's really nice to just stick with what we know and not challenge ourselves and push boundaries. But this past year has shown me just how crazy life can be, and when you are willing to step out of your comfort zone, how beneficial that can be. And yesterday or 2 days ago was the 1-year anniversary from my blood clot, and I've made a couple videos about that. And the blood clot came out of nowhere, and it really put some things about life in perspective for me, where, you know, it just showed me how quickly things can change. And the reason I say often that it was like the best thing that happened to me was because it definitely helped my mindset and perspective on life, but it also forced me to quit my job at Walmart, which was gonna happen anyway. But, you know, I had graduated 10 months early, and I still stand by what I did was I was being picky with jobs. I didn't want to take a job just to make more money. I wanted to get a job that I actually was interested in. And I was like, you know what, if I have to stay at Walmart a little bit longer, that's okay. And at the same time, I knew I needed to get out. I quit like 2 weeks or whatever after my 4-month anniversary, or 4-year anniversary from working there. So it was just time to go. And the whole, you know, I can't lift anything, which was a huge part of my job at Walmart. It's like, okay, this is the universe telling me it's time to go. And so I went. And since then, you know, not long after that, I got a job as a freelance writer, writing about the stock market. And then I got to a point a few months ago where I'm like, gosh, I don't know if I really like this that much. It was boring. I was working from home. I was working on a couch or a desk all day. Not even all day though. I was working a few hours a day, which was nice, but also boring. And living in Fishers, Indiana, with a lot of friends and people you like to hang out with gone, just moving on with life, going to other states and cities, there's just not a ton to do, and I was bored. And that's why when I heard about, or when I had a friend reach out to me about this tour manager job, I was very intrigued because it came out of nowhere, and it was almost the cure to a disease I didn't even know I had, where I was just, it really shocked me to the system. I'm like, you know what? I really could get out and travel and do something crazy and have fun, because that's not what I do. I don't have fun. I just sit at my desk all day and write about stocks, which I'd still like, and I'm still gonna continue to do that on the side, but it's just, I needed something else. And we just got back yesterday from our first 3 days in Peoria, which I'm repping the free sweatshirt. Kenny's Westside Pub, shout out to them, gave me a free sweatshirt. So we did Peoria, Des Moines, Iowa, Kansas City, 3 nights in a row. We drove back. I was in a car for probably 10 to 12 hours yesterday. And I'm very tired, but it was just fun, man. I mean, it was, again, something I never, like, this is a job that basically no one is ever gonna have. And that was another intriguing thing to me, is almost like so many people have jobs that everyone has. Like, oh, I'm an insurance agent, or a real estate agent, or a freelance writer, or whatever. And it's just a lot of the same stuff. Nobody is touring with a band. It's a very, very small segment of people. And I didn't want to do it just to be unique or anything like that, because I don't really care about that, but it was just a unique opportunity. And, my kind of online stuff I do, writing and videos and podcasting and books, it's all about sharing my experiences and hoping to help others, or kind of shed light on different perspectives and stuff like that. And I've seen that impact people over the past couple of years, especially with the books, for sure, which is why I'll never stop writing books. But that's helped people. And it's, I don't know if it seems self-centered or whatever that I'm so dead set on sharing my opinions, but I've seen it work and help people, and people appreciate it, so I'm going to continue to do it. And that's why I'm making this video too, because this was a job where I could have easily talked myself out of it. It was so crazy and scary, and I'm gonna be, traveling with a bunch of people I barely know. I'm gonna be doing a job that I have no idea how to do. I'm gonna be working in an industry I've never worked in before, in music, and it's like, it was so easy to talk myself out of it. But my last book, No Pressure, Finding Happiness in a Fear-Driven World, fear-driven, the main point of that, because so many people live in fear and make decisions based on fear instead of love. And I, with every chance I have, choose the route of love and interest and curiosity. And that's exactly what this job is. It's curious, it's interesting, it's crazy. And I got to see that firsthand this past weekend. And I'm going to continue to see it for the next few months, and hopefully for a lot longer than that. Even just a few days ago, I think it was Wednesday night, we were down in Bloomington, Indiana, doing a rehearsal for the next day, because we were leaving the next day to go to Peoria. And I was talking to this guy Shane, who is I'm technically the road manager, but it's just words, but he's the tour manager. He's kind of stepping back He's going to be helping me out a lot still, but he's an awesome guy. He was unbelievable for me learning this week. I mean, Kansas City was Saturday night. That was our third show, and by that point, I did a lot of the work myself, and I didn't need his help that much because he was so good at getting me up to speed in a quick time. But at the same time, he just dumped information on me. And when we were sitting there, and the band was practicing, and we were in another room talking business, because a lot of it's just business for me. It's paperwork, which, you know, it's a huge part of it, and it's great because the paperwork is worth it. Maybe I'll make another video talking about the job more in depth, but he's talking a lot about business stuff, and I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can do this because there's just a lot of stuff coming at me at once. But at the same time, and I was sitting there, I'm like, I may be out of my element with this, like this may be too much. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I need to do it and just see. I need to go out on the road. I need to do it, actually do the activity, not just learn about it. And then I can see what I think about it. And after that first night, man, a lot of my job is selling merchandise, at least during the show. And I'm usually pretty close to the stage. And I'm really not a person that goes to that many concerts, honestly. I love music, and over the past year especially, it's really grown to be an important part of my life. I've connected to music a lot more. And being in a building with all these people that are just excited to have fun, listen to music, and actually me listening to the music too, like I actually was tearing up a little bit. And I'm not a person that cries. Like I get moved to tears by like weird shit. Like that. Like if you told me tomorrow that, I'm not gonna say any specific name, but like if you told me someone close to me died tomorrow, I definitely could cry. But it's one of the, like, death is one of those things I think takes a little bit time for it to hit me. So I may not cry for a few weeks, but I'll tear up at something like that, where I'm just having a feeling with, you know, being around music and all these people. It kind of made me tear up a little bit. And that was kind of the moment where I'm like, this is exactly where I need to be. Because it's just, the energy is just unbelievable. And it was the same for the next two nights. Des Moines, big blues fest we went to. And it was the same feeling where it's just, you're just enjoying music, man. Like, it's work. I've got to sell merchandise. I've got to do paperwork. I've got to collect money. I've got to load in stuff, load out. There's a lot of stuff I got to do. But the energy just lasts. I slept probably, let's say, a liberal estimate would be 20 hours. But I think it was closer to 16 for 3 days, 16 total hours of sleep. And then we drove for 10 to 12 hours, like I said yesterday, and I didn't sleep in the car at all, the van at all. And we got home, and I felt good. You know, I had a cup of coffee, I had a Monster. I felt great. I didn't feel like I had slept 16 hours in 3 days. I felt great, and my feet hurt, and my hands hurt, my shoulders hurt, but I felt great. And I really think it's just that energy of being around music and talking to people. I mean, when I was younger, I was such an introvert in high school and stuff, and even college in the beginning. But now, man, I'm talking to maybe 100 people a day. You know, I'm talking to at least 60 to 70 people a day, new people that I have never met. I don't know their names all the time, but it's just such genuine conversation. People are there to just have a good time, listen to music. I'm learning new things about new people and new bands, and it's just fun, man. And that was another reason why I liked Walmart too. And I look back and, you know, Walmart's a job where everyone's like, oh, it's Walmart, you know, that's some job that college kids and, you know, losers do, basically. Like, you tell someone you worked at Walmart and it's like, oh wow, what's wrong with you? Dude, that job made this job so easy, because first of all, I busted my ass at Walmart. So I got a really good work ethic because I had to make up for a lot of people's laziness. But also I talked to so many different people every day. And it really showed me how much I enjoy human interaction. And, you know, it was something I really, really missed when I started working at home. And I like being alone too, so I was okay. And it gave me time to, you know, play golf a lot more and to read and to just kind of do things I like, and that was great. But I miss the human interaction. And just the music and the human interaction has given me like like a new energy. And I can't even imagine like what it feels like to be a musician. I'm imagining it's much more powerful because you are creating something. And I know the power of creation from the stuff I do as well. When you put out something that's awesome and people like, it just feels amazing. And I get to experience that a little bit in this realm too. And, you know, again, these are feelings I never would have knew about if I didn't try it. And that's why I think I'm going to title this something like growth is just trial and error. And it's doing things that you never thought you'd do. And it may not work out in the long run, but you're going to learn so much. And it hasn't even been a week. Or I think today is a week technically since I started. But we've only had 3 shows. We have 47 shows left on this tour. And the year total, we're probably going to clear 100. Definitely, I should say. Going to clear 100. And I'm going to go to different countries. I'm going to go to different states, cities I've never been to. Like on this tour, we're going to 25 states. And I've been to a decent amount of them, but there's going to be a lot of new states for sure as well. And how many people am I going to meet? Thousands. How many things am I going to learn that I didn't know? A lot. And it's hard work, which I haven't been doing. I haven't been working hard. I've been working at home. I've been not sleeping. I've been laying on the couch and typing at a computer. You know, I haven't been working hard. But this job, you work all day. I mean, I'm standing on my feet for 9 hours straight at least. And I'm doing a lot of stuff in between as well. And I'm realizing the sun is probably not great lighting right here, but I mean, yeah, it's just the point. I'm rambling as I usually do, but it's like so many people get stuck in that path of doing what's comfortable and what's easy and what you know. And it is very understandable because it's human nature to do that. You're not a bad person if you do something just because it feels good and comfortable. Like that's what we do, and a lot of times it's what we should do. But also it's nice to kind of stand on the edge of that cliff a little bit and jump and see, you know, if you can spread your wings and fly. And hopefully you don't fall flat on your face and not have a chance to do anything after that. But most of the time you're gonna figure out what to do on the way down, and you're gonna find a cliff to hang on to, or a tree branch sticking out, or your wings are going to fly and you're going to end up flying way higher than the cliff was at the beginning. So, you know, again, this is like a week of experience, and this is a job where things happen quick, and it only takes 3 shows to realize what's happening and the energy that you're collecting and all of the things that are happening. So that's really it. I'll never stop talking about stuff like this. Again, this is a huge part of my last book. And, you know, I'm not planning on writing any more like self-help type stuff because I've said what I have to say about it. There's probably stuff that I'll continue to learn like this as time goes on. But I don't really think I need to write anything more about it. But I'll make videos when things happen to me, and I'll write articles. And I'll just continue to say this stuff because seriously, the past year and the past year and a half there was like 2 separate periods, I think. The first book I wrote, From One Young Soul to Another, was the first period, and that was about 5-6 months of learning. And then the past year after my blood clot, I just downloaded a bunch of new lessons and stuff like that. And it's just been amazing. And it's been crazy how different my life is now than it was a year ago. Like, shocking. And that was another video I think I made right after my actual surgery to fix the blood clot issue, which was getting my rib removed. I made a video about how crazy life is because, I mean, you can go back and watch that video. I'll link it. I don't want to say all the stuff I said in there, but I made a video sitting down with my arm in a sling talking about how you never know what's coming. You never know what's going to happen this time next week, or this time next year, or this time in 10 years. You never know what's coming, and that's what's fun about life, is that you can't really expect stuff. You know, you can't prepare for anything. You can't plan for anything because stuff changes. And you have to also be willing to realize that you may not know what you're doing. Because I could have said, you know what? Being a freelance stock market writer, that's what I need to do. I need to stick with this for 5 years or whatever. Would have been a horrible mistake to do that. I never, ever think that I know what I'm doing, and it has helped me a lot. I always assume that I'm messing something up. And this is a realization I've had with women too, because I look back and I'm like, you know what? I was really into that girl at one point, and now I don't get it. I don't see why I was. So now, if I like a girl right now, I'm like, oh, I'm probably wrong. I'll probably learn in a year why this is good it didn't work out. So that's kind of my approach to everything now, is like, I just assume I'm wrong. I just assume that what I'm doing may not work out, and it may be, you know, not a bad decision, but it may be something to move on from and try something new. And I think it's a good approach to have, because, you know, we get caught up in our ego and just assuming that we know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. We might know what we're doing, but there may still be better stuff out there for us. And, you know, you have to lean into that and just stay curious, stay interested in life and what it has to offer, because it could be way more than you ever expect. I mean, seriously. I started a music podcast in May last year, you know, just because I was interested in podcasting. And we did that, me and my friend Will did that for 7 months. And even then, I still never would have expected to get something like this where I'm actually involved in music in some way. You know, not creating it necessarily, but being a part of the scene and being at concerts on a nightly basis. It's something I never would have expected, even though music has become a lot more important to me over the past year. So it's just, you got to stay curious. You've got to assume that you're wrong, and that trying something new may be the answer to unlocking something. It may not, you know, there's no one answer to life. There's a lot of small or big kind of unlocks that you get along the way. And this was the most recent one for me, just because I was interested, I was curious. And I'll continue to stay curious and interested because it has done so much for me over the past year and a half. And it'll continue to do that for me, I know, moving forward. So if you're still here, you are a legend, and hopefully will be very successful taking my advice. Who knows? Because I'm wrong, right? Yes. I like coming here to walk around and just kind of soak in nature a little bit. So, yeah, just keep your head open, your ears open, and your head up, and stay alert, because we fall down these rabbit holes or whatever. We stay on these paths that may not be right for us, and just because we know what they are, we stick with it. But don't be afraid to take a random ass job and to do random ass stuff, because it could change your life in some way or the other. So again, thank you for listening, And it may be another 6 months, who knows? But I will always come back to this place at some point and say stuff, because I've always got something to say. So, see you guys.